So know that Ballard is not the only dark horse in this race.
CBS 4 State House reporter Hannah Adamson also sat down with Libertarian nominee Lauri Shillings this week to talk about her election bid and what sets her apart from the competition.
With former Indianapolis Mayor Greg Ballard on the verge of collecting enough signatures to get on the ballot, the Libertarian candidate in the Secretary of State's race, Lauri Shillings, tells me she believes there's an appetite among voters for even more grassroots candidates, and that given the controversy surrounding the office, she believes being outside the traditional two-party system could give her an advantage.
It's not about a partisan role. It's about doing the work of the people of Indiana.
Libertarian Lauri Shillings says if elected, her #1 goal is to make it easier for voters and business owners to get the information and services they need from the Secretary of State's office online.
My top priority is going to be to assess the website where people interface with the Secretary of State. In the last year that I've been campaigning, every single person I've talked to has had issues with it. Either it's not functional, links are broken, it doesn't serve them in a way that seems intuitive. And I think as a business entity in Indiana, it should 100% be functional for people's use.
With Indiana consistently one of the lowest ranking states for voter turnout, Shillings says she would work to improve voter education.
I want to make sure they understand who's on their ballot, how the process works, where they can go to vote, and make sure that we can expand access to them to do so.
There are some Republicans in the General Assembly who have tried to shorten the early voting window. If they reintroduce legislation to try and do that again, how would you handle that situation?
You know, the role is not to create policy, it's to execute the office of how the laws are written. So I would have to uphold that. I would certainly advocate to have those things expanded in a way. So we want every available voter to be able to vote.
Shillings also says she would work with Republican leadership in the General Assembly to make citizen-led referendums a reality.
I think there's a way to do that because I'm outside of the two-party system.
Ultimately, why should voters choose you over your opponents?
So again, I was raised in Indiana. I've been here my whole life. I understand the needs of everyday people. I truly want to do this job because I care about the people here and I care about the services that they get from government.
Shillings is guaranteed to face Democrat Bo Bai and the GOP nominee in November. The Indiana GOP will decide on Saturday which of 4 candidates vying for the job will move on to the general election. Reporting from Indianapolis, I'm Hannah Adamson.